Let's see here. Now, what do I want to go for to support the team here? Do I want to make a corruptor? Or should I go with defender class? Alright, I am back. I actually have my YouTube channel back that I thought I lost because my computer crashed and I forgot my password. But now I finally logged in after 3 years and figured I'd celebrate by releasing a video about one of my favorite sets, the Marine Affinity. And I'm going to show why I like it so much, especially for the Defender class. For more than the obvious reasons I'm going to show you. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it and find it informative, if not just entertaining. So let's go ahead and get into this.
Defender class hero heals buff, debuff, more damage. Defender class hero heals buff, debuff, more damage. Defender class hero heals buff, debuff, more damage. Defender class hero heals buff, debuff, more damage.
Alright, so let's start off with the power Soothing Wave. So the Soothing Wave is a cone heal. It's decent, but the thing I like about the Marine Affinity heal is that it's a type of move where you're not feeling like you have to wait for your team to get injured to use it. Sometimes you're in a team that's so effective that they don't even need heals, and so it's like your power is unnecessary. You're just kind of throwing it out there. I know you've seen players that have their heal on auto and they just go around following everybody and just auto healing all the time. Besides that, which kind of looks silly, but if you're if you have a power, you want to have it useful. You want it to have its useless, but if your team is so good that you don't even need the power, excuse me, it kind of makes it feel like, well, my power set is not being utilized all the way. So Marine Affinity kind of gets rid of that by making it so that if your team is just so good they don't need the heals, you can use it and it hits the bad guys. Now it doesn't do any damage, but it debuffs the bad guys, so you can just spam your heals and use it freely, knowing that even if your team needs it or not, it's going to debuff the bad guys. So it's a useful tool for you, even if your team is really good. And if any of your guys gets hit, they get healed. So it's a fun move to spam anytime. And it's useful to spam. It's not just making noise and not doing anything. And if we look here at the detailed info, we'll notice that it's been toned down some, but it still debuffs the damage dished out by the enemies by close to 10%. And it hits a lot of enemies. So I'm guessing since, you can hit just about every good guy on the screen, like a raid or something, it might hit just about all the bad guys you can possibly fit on the screen at once. I don't know how I could actually test that, but that's what I'm thinking anyway. But either way, I'm pretty sure it's going to hit 16, if not more, than the entire mob of 16 that you have pulled. And so let's check out how it works. You notice it's a cone type heal. Oh, look at that. It actually was able to reach the guy all the way over here. Let me try that again. Oh, well, I gotta turn a little bit. But as you can see, the range is pretty good. Actually, it was able to heal all of these guys that are spread out. And it actually has decent range. Let me see if I can reach them all the way over here. Yeah, not bad. Missed that guy, but that's pretty far. It's a lot further than the AoE heal that of a lot of the regular healers can do. Now it's pretty similar to the plant type heal, but like I said, it actually does more than just heal. Now it only hits you once. The plant heal hits multiple times, so that's more useful for like predicting enemies attacking you. So if your team is getting attacked and you heal, as the plant version of the heal, it's healing you multiple times. So you can actually heal when they need it. Like they might get hit after your first button press. And so that's kind of like how it comes in handy with the plant one. So with this one, it just has one heal. But I guess it would be too effective if they made it like the plant, just so they just made it one single heal. It's heal's okay, nothing spectacular, but it's definitely a useful heal to have. Alright, next is the Shoal Rush. This one is an AoE debuff. Hey, look at that guy. So with the debuff, what does it do? It does minus defense. So it makes it easier for you and your team to hit the bad guys that are affected by it, and it lasts a nice 20 seconds or so. It also slows them down, makes it so that they can't fly as well. They can't jump as high. So it slows them down, so that's going to be pretty effective. And it's always nice to be able to hit bad guys. You know, missing is one of the nastiest feelings, you know, in this game. Well, besides, you know, your the dreaded running out of endurance. Yeah, that's probably the most feared sound that you do not want to hear in this game. But yeah, being able to hit them is definitely something you're going to want to be able to do, and this one actually works pretty well. It hits 16 characters and it's an AoE, so you just throw it out there. Now it can miss. Let me see here. It does take accuracy, but what you notice is it's a little bit more accurate than normal. Normally you would see 1x, but this is 1.20, and so when you add accuracy to it, that accuracy is actually boosted even more. So this is an incredibly accurate move, and you definitely want to hit the bad guys in order to make it so that they're easier to hit. Because if your move makes it easier to hit, but you're missing them, yeah, it's kind of besides the point. Kind of ruins the move. But I like how they made it so that this one has extra accuracy, so it's more likely to hit the enemies you want to debuff for yourself and your teammates. And that's not shabby. I have mine fully hooked up, and minus 30% debuffing for defense is actually pretty good. So the next one is I don't even know how to pronounce that. Is this toroideo tor eh, pterodactyl bubble. So the pterodactyl bubble, yeah, that this move here is actually a really fun move. I like this one. It does quite a bit, and you can keep it on yourself and your team permanently if you have enough recharge in it. So what it does is it makes it so that you can jump higher. I will demonstrate here. So normally, I'm going to turn off my traveling. This is my maximum jump height. So if I walk up to this wall here, that's as high as I can go. But if I use this move here, I can now jump. Oh, oops. I can now jump. Oh, I'm hitting the ceiling. Let me see. I can now jump up to the top of the roof here. And so what else it does is It increases your resistance to smashing damage as well as fire damage by a nice amount. And it also does it for other damages as well. Not as much, but I'm glad they threw those in there. So it's always nice to have some extra resistance for yourself and your teammates. So lethal damage, cold damage, energy, these are the ones lethal. That's like slicing, cutting type damage, like swords and shurikens and things like that. And smashing. That's like punching and hammers. Like you're just think about hammering down. Hawk smash. Hawk doesn't slice; he smashes, and that's what that is. And the freaks, they deliver both lethal and smashing. Because I notice you can see their weapons. You've got the ones that have claws, and then you have ones that have hammers. So the ones that have the hammers, they do the smashing because it's Hawk smash with the hammer. And the ones that have the knives and the rusty ones that give you lockjaw, those are the ones that do lethal damage because they're cutting you. It's lethal, or bullets can penetrate, and that those are considered lethal damage. So just in case you didn't know that, it's an interesting thing. But it also gives you resistance against psionic, which is pretty cool. So yeah, it doesn't hurt to actually get resistance to every attack that's in the game so far. Well, most of all the attacks. And the thing that I'm sure is a favorite is it gives you endurance. If you're running low on endurance, you automatically give yourself and your team extra endurance, and it makes you resistance to endurance drain. So that means the freaks, when they start trying to drain your juice, your blue juice, it makes you resistant. So what if somebody were to hit you with something that takes 100% of your blue juice, like a sapper? If you have this amount, basically they won't be able to drain you completely because you're more resistant by having it on. So yeah, it's really nice to have when fighting the freaks or running a yin task force, a Penelope task force. I do those all the time, by the way. But yeah, it's really nice. It makes your team feel like you don't have endurance problems. So and it gives you extra traveling ability. So it's a really fun power to have. It's not speed boosting anything, but what it does, it's really good. Amazing power to have. It doesn't make it so that it's hard to run or anything like speed boost can do. Fantastic. Spam it as much as you can. Um, Usually I try to wait till the team is gathered before I use it. I don't just kind of use it, put it on auto, because a lot of people can kind of miss out if they're running to the next mob, or if you're running and they're not there when it fires. So I don't like to have this one on auto. I just like to hit it when the whole team is gathered, like right before jumping into the next mob. What does that sound? Alright, so the next move is this one called the White Cap. This one's pretty interesting because it allows you to have an attack in the set. It's not just debuffing, buffing, or healing, assisting your team. It gives you an attack, which is pretty awesome. I like having extra attack moves. And it's not just that. It's a teleport move, which kind of gets you in the mob, and you don't have to feel scared by getting into the mob because it causes knockdown. Not knock back, but knock down. So it won't be frustrating your team because it's going to be knocking them down. So what it does is it makes it so that all the bad guys who get hit by it will take more damage. So it's pretty much like making your team more powerful. And the recharge is pretty good. So the debuff lasts for a whopping 30 seconds, but your move will be recharged really quickly so you can use it again. So I like spamming this move whenever it's ready. I also like to start off attacks with it as well. Works pretty good. But this is a really good move. I also threw in an extra proc for minus resistance that helps stack in there. I also like having an extra recharge boost because when I'm hitting 16 enemies like a fresh mob, this pretty much fires almost every single time. So all my moves are charging up fast, and it just makes it fun. I love being able to throw out my attacks and my heals or whatever it is I'm doing extra fast. It's lovely, quite lovely, wonderful power, and it's like I want to get every single power in the set because everything is so useful, in the set. Oh yeah, and for the minus defense, I also have a extra thing to help debuff their resistance in there. Because, yeah, there's nothing like making the enemy a little extra squishy. So I like how this minus resistance and this minus resistance, they both stack, and it makes the enemies extra squishy, and that's always fun. So this one right here, I don't really need to add a lot of slots to this one. I only need one, but it's a nice move. It's effective. It has very fast recharge time, so you're guaranteed to be able to put it on every single mob you come across. Because usually, even if you can defeat the enemies really fast, 10 seconds, it's going to recharge faster than that, if you have hasten and things like that. So with this one, it makes it so if you and your teammates are standing in it, I'll go ahead and slap it down right here. And it looks pretty cool, I have to say. I like the colors. I like the sound, and it makes me want to fall asleep almost, but just listen to that sound. It's like listening to the water on a shore or at the beach. It's probably one of my favorite sounds. It's very relaxing. But City of Heroes has amazing sound effects, I have to say. Unlike some games, but yeah, they're very impactful in City of Heroes. But yeah, with this move, as you can see, it's pretty wide. It actually extends a little bit further than what you can see. But yeah, if you're standing in it, you're automatically going to be doing more damage. Let's see, damage bonus. If we go it up here, and let's see, we can see what it's doing. We have damage bonus. Tide pool. We're getting an extra 30% from tide pool, so that's always good. Your entire team doing an extra 30%. It's going to be less for other classes. The defender, of course, specializes in this class. It's not a secondary move, so everything's going to be boosted for the defender. So yeah, this is a nice move, and it not just boosts up your team, it debuffs the enemies. So when the enemies are actually standing in it, it makes it so that they run really slow. And it makes it so that they do less damage, which is interesting because if you look at this here, which gives you, I'll just round it up and say 10% minus strength when you use it, combined with this here, you have yourself pretty much almost cutting the bad guy's damage down in half. Now, it's not exactly like that, but it's pretty close. I'm just rounding it off here, just rounding it off. And if you think about it, if the bad guys are dishing out nearly half less damage, it's like your team are miniature tanks. You're taking almost half damage that the bad guys are doing. Now, it's not to a T, but basically having a combination of both of those together really makes your team strong in taking damage. So you have healing abilities, you have abilities to keep your team alive longer because the enemies are doing less damage. So yeah, it's a great combination. The moves really go well with each other and stack, and just makes it worth using like the entire set. I don't want to skip anything. Everything's just really good. So this one, the brine, I don't even know if I'm saying it correctly, but this one here, well, this one right here, use that on the bad guys, and it only affects one target, but it really is effective on one target because it makes it so that they take 30% more damage. So their armor, if they're resistant to something, it makes it so that they're minus 30% resistant to all damage. So usually I like to hit the bosses and AVs with this. Usually the characters that are annoying that stay alive, and it also instantly takes away their hit points. So it just kind of instantly makes it so that they lose a good portion of their health automatically. So it makes them like squishier instantly, and it lasts for a whole minute. So you don't have to worry about, I have to hit them again. Yeah, our entire minute they're debuffed. That is an amazing. Usually, most enemies are down within a minute. So yeah, that's huge. That's really nice. Now the recharge time, yeah, that kind of is not so good. But you got to think, it's a really good power. It does suck to miss it because you have to wait a long time before you can use it again. But when it does hit, it really makes a difference. You can feel how fast bosses go down when they're hit with that. So I really like that power. It's not a gotta have move, but I really dig it. I think it's pretty cool to have that one. Now, this one here, the Shifting Tides. Now, this one is when it really gets interesting, and I want to show you why the Defender class it's superior, way more superior than the other ones who have it like masterminds and things like that. The Defender, this really shines as a Defender, and I'm going to show you why the Defender class is so good. Alright, so this one does a lot. It's an amazing power, and it's like you don't want to skip this one because it just does so much. It's not just one thing and you have another power for another thing. It does a lot of things. It does damage. It's AoE. It's a nice large 25-foot circle around the target that you choose to put it on, and it stays on. It's not a power that when you put it on there, it stays on for like 30 seconds, and then you have to wait for it to recharge and put it on again. It stays on indefinitely until the target is either eliminated, or if you go on a different floor, or if the person goes out of range. So what it does is it increases your 2-hit of yourself and your teammates just by being around that target, which is pretty interesting, and it stacks up 10 times. And so what you notice is you're going to be more accurate just by being around that person. That's amazing. Not missing bad guys is what makes the game, what adds, I should say, adds to the fun. Missing enemies, that sucks so horrible. And interesting enough, it gives you a boost in recharge, and that's like times 10. It stacks times 10, so it's like, what's that, 20? So you're getting 20% boost in recharge charge reduction, so that means your attacks are charging up even faster. Alright, so I have it on him, and I also like how it doesn't make him look like a mess of buffs. You can see it on him. It's kind of going like an aura. I like to choose colors that, match my character, but I also don't want to make the person I put it on look like a ice. You know how it is. You buff somebody and they can no longer enjoy their character anymore. I just, I tell you, I don't know why they still allow that in this game. It just, personally, it ruins it, the aesthetic, the visual appeal. It makes everyone look like ice blobs and fireballs. I mean, a city of heroes is not a city of ice cubes or a city of flame monsters. So I don't know why they still allow that. it for me it kind of ruins the fun. It takes away your personality. It kind of and your teammates' personality. I mean, you can no longer see your heroes anymore, and everybody looks the same. And it looks horrible. It's exaggerated. It doesn't feel like you're a hero anymore. You cannot enjoy what you spent hours making because somebody just covers you up and you have absolutely nothing you can do. I mean, you can go up here and you can right click it and you can turn it off that way, but your buffs disappear and they're going to look at you and see, oh, he needs to get buffed, and just slap it right back on you. And what are you going to do? Say, hey, can you not buff me? No, if he buffs the team, you're going to get buffed if you're in an area. So to me, it's something that needs to be updated. They should try to make it more visually appealing so that it's not covering the actual character, but an aura that has ice on the outside or flames on the outside, but not blocking your view of your character from the camera, because you want to enjoy what you spent time making. Some people spend hours, making a character, and they want to show it off and they want to enjoy somebody else's creations, but they can't because Mr. Ugly Buffs wanted to come along and slap it on the characters and just, make the game look a mess. It just look like an old game that was made 20 years ago, even though the game was made like 20 years ago. Yeah. Anyway, getting back to the subject matter at hand here. Let me see. So this is a use it and forget it kind of power, so you can use your other ones. And like I said before, this one is like a busy set, so you can do a lot of things and you don't have to worry about using powers that are ineffective and useless. They all have good effects. There's lots to do. You can attack with some of your powers. You can have goosebumps knowing that your buff is adding to the damage, it's just a really nice set. So here is what really makes it shine, is when you add your defender class IOs. So I'm going to slap that on there, and what you're going to notice. Oh, did you hear that sound? Let's just wait another second here. Now, what is that sound? That sounds like healing, doesn't it? And I'm not even doing anything. I mean, my character is just standing still, and I and the other people around them are just receiving free heals? I'm not using any extra endurance. Look at that. Is this appearing above my head? Oh, wow. This is a magnificent free heals, and I'm just standing still. Look at that. And the range is hitting this guy. I think it might be hitting this guy. Let me see if it actually reaches all the way over there. Nope. Okay, so it's within this kind of proximity. So you got to be at least this close in order to get it. But that's pretty cool. And this is exclusive for the Defender class, because this IO, chance for heal, is only available for Defenders. Now, you can get it for Corruptors. Now the Corruptors get their own version of it, so you can use that on a Corruptor. So yeah, it's not exactly exclusive for the Defenders, but Defenders and Corruptors have it exclusively. So yeah, you can use it as a Corruptor if you wanted to and get free heals. So that's a plus for that as well. But this one is even more interesting, because what you can do with this one, let me slap that one in now. Whoa! Did you hear that? What was that? We're getting more sound effects now? Hold up. You see that? What's this up here? You see that right? That silver right there? That's absorb. Free absorb. Now I want you to look, but see that? That's the heal. Okay? It's not firing every time. Oh, but it is firing quite often. Quite often. So you're getting free heals and you're getting absorb, free absorb, just by existing or keeping your toggle on and being near that target where your toggle's on.
Later.
Alrighty, so for a test, I have the captain here has gathered a mob here, and as you can see, there's a lot more icons showing up for shifting tides. And if we look at the 2-hit bonus, it's now fluctuating, bouncing from 70 something to 82. So it looks like you need bad guys in order to get the 2-hit bonus and recharge from the shifting tides. So the more friendlies are around it, that helps with their procs firing, but the more enemies is how you get the powers built in boost in accuracy and recharge. So yeah, I'm guessing that's also for the strength bonus as well. Let's see. Yep, the damage. Well, let's wait for this to disappear here. Damage bonus 62. Let's go ahead and directly check the damage bonus here. Let's see. Damage bonus. It keeps bouncing up, but if we look here, we see rising tide. Yeah. So the more bad guys you have in the area, it stacks up to 10 times. So the more mobs you have, or the more enemies you have, up to 10 of them, is going to make you more accurate and make your moves recharge faster.
Later.
Well, looks like I found out something. So I have to correct some information I told you earlier. I said that in order to receive the defender heals and absorb, you have to be around your target where you put the shifting tides. But I forgot that those are actually, since they're the defender procs, your defender is giving off the procs. So that means you have to be around the defender to receive the heals and absorb. So what you're noticing, they're appearing above the defender's head, but they're all the way over here and they're not receiving it. Even though I have the captain here, I have him with shifting tides. So yeah, interesting. So I'm going to come back over here and see what happens. There we go. Now that I'm in the same area and they're close to the defender who's rocking those defender IOs, they're now getting that goodness. So remember, guys, you gotta hug your defenders. You gotta hug them if you want those goodies. You gotta hug them. You know what I mean? Yeah. Next, I want to talk about the bread and butter. Oh, okay, I already said the other one's one of the bread and butters, but I want to show you why the barrier reef is one of my faves. Why, and how you should use it. Now, I don't see anybody else using it this way, but after this video, hopefully you'll learn something and start using it yourself, because it's incredibly effective. Now, who is that? Somebody came over to here for some backup, huh? Alright, let's do this. Ah, you're trying to interrupt me, huh? Take that. Alright. Yeah. Glad I can help you. So, barrier reef. What you notice with this one, barrier reef gives you added defense. Now, that's a nice 8.4%. Now, it's not spectacular, but it's always something good to have. Now 8%, that's a really good amount. That's almost 10. And if you have something like, let me see, like this here, if you have something like the Steadfast Protection and the Gladiator Armor, which gives you defense, permanent defense, just by having it in a resistance power, it stacks with that. So if you look at the mount, this gives you 3%, this one gives you 3%, and then you have that combined with an added 8%, that gives you nearly what? 14? Let me add it up. It's like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, yeah, 15% defense, and that's not bad. That's a pretty good combination to have. 15% can really make the difference when going against enemies. If your defense is around 20%, and you're going against +1s, it feels like they're going to be missing half the time, or even +2s. It's going to feel like they're missing half of the time. If you have something that's in the upper 30s or 40, they're almost going to be missing all the time, like 95% of the time, it seems like. So it's like 40%, you're good to go. Against +2s, you're going to be pretty safe. Alright, so here's the thing about the barrier reef. I'm going to slap this down here. So the barrier reef not only gives you defense for you and your team just by being around it, and its range is pretty wide, and it follows you around, so it's like a pet. This one, it does disappear after a while, but it stays out for, let me see, 4 minutes. So you really don't have to worry about it disappearing really fast. It's not using any endurance, so if you just slap it down like that, it stays out and it follows you around. So it's like a little shield generator that also keeps giving your team absorption. So that's pretty good to have. Let me see here. Invite the team. So if you look over here at the health, you can see it's stacking with our free heals and absorption, and it's giving it a really nice amount, and that is free, right? It's like you're not doing anything. That is going around you and your team. Free absorption. That's stacking, so that's pretty awesome. But here's the thing that a lot of people, they're not really using, and I'm going to show you what's really effective for the barrier reef. What you'll notice is if I respawn it, right, I want you to look up here or look over here and watch what happens when I respawn it. Ooh, it goes up even more. So what's happening is you've gotten rid of your first spawn of your pet, and now it's stacking on top of that other previous absorption. So now you have effectively doubled the amount, and this recharges pretty quickly. So every time you slap it down, you're instantly giving you and your team absorption. So if somebody hits you and then it's disappeared, what do? You slap another one down, and you instantly have another stack of absorption ready to go. And so what I want to show you, see how it's recharging? I'm going to slap it down as soon as it's ready. You can keep on stacking it and making it rise, right? So I'm going to slap it down again. I have that hasten on, so it's going to recharge even faster. I'm going to slap it down again, and watch this. It goes up even more. So it's like, this is a type of move where you can do when there's like, you wonder, what can I do next? Just keep slapping this down. You know, it gives you something to do when there's nothing to do. You just keep on slapping it down. As long as you're around your teammates, everybody gets this buff. Look at that. It's almost half. Not quite, but almost half when it stacks. And it just keeps on going. So what I found out is when you keep doing this, you're rarely going to even need to heal.
Is anybody healing on this team, or are we just awesome?
Because of all that juicy absorption just for your team to absorb, it makes you and your team miniature tanks. It's amazing, right? And it just, I like how it just gives you a little something extra to do while you're in battle, you know, instead of just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You now have something else to do, just constantly slapping that down, and you can heal, and you can debuff, and you can use this to jump in and attack. It's offense, it's defense, it's like an amazing play style that's fun, that gives you everything you can think about. It makes your team unbeatable, pretty much. Not to exaggerate, but man, it's just so good. This is better than the absorption given by the, what do you call it, the plant style altogether. It's just amazing. And so yeah, when you use all of this together, it really makes your team literally unbeatable. And something else I noticed, when you're in teams and you're using this and you have a long list of names, you're going to notice that there's some team members that always likes to hang far back, you know, because they don't want to get close to the enemies. I don't blame them. They might be blasters or defenders, but they stay as far away as they can. And healers usually hate that because, you know, now you have to either face them or go all the way back where they are when they need to get healed. But the thing I like about this, when you have all this silver in your team's names, and then there's this 1 or 2 people who don't have it, they're going to feel left out. And so that kind of gives them extra drive. And what I notice when I'm in teams is they start huddling together because they want some of that awesome absorption. And so they start sticking together like a real team, and it starts getting kind of cozy, you know. They start you know, just, you know, sticking together like it's supposed to be, making it easier on the healers, and just gives you goosebumps because everybody's like in huggable range. And so this one is the Power of the Deaths. Pretty decent move. So what this does is it gives everybody max hit points. So it makes your health bar go up further than what it's supposed to. So the health bar is about 1,094 points of hit points. That's you know, as large as my health bar is. Tanks, they usually have like double or triple that. That's why they stay alive so much. But you know, defenders and everybody else, they're more squishy. They have less hit points. Let me go ahead and turn this off. So yeah, because it's making a lot of noise. But yeah, when we use this, it gives everybody more hit points, and it also it gives you more endurance. So it gives you a boost. It makes your your blue juice bar go up. So that means you actually can hold more blue juice than what you normally would. And not only that, but it gives you a regeneration rate increase of a huge amount. I have mine like pretty much maxed out. It's around 97%. That's just very close. It's not completely maxed. I think the most you can get is like anyway, as you can see, is I have it fully slotted. It's really gives you the most regeneration that you're going to get, but it gives you regeneration, a nice amount of regeneration. So that makes it so that if you take damage, your health regenerates faster. So it might go up like every 3 seconds or something like that. So it makes your survivability even more. So yeah. So, and it makes it so that your attacks do further range. So one thing I'm curious about is what is the range? Does it affect the range of my heals as well? So let me see. If I use this, okay, I'm hitting this character, but the other two are too far for it to reach, right? It's not hitting these guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and use it and see if the range actually affects my heal as well. Let's go ahead and use that. Okay. And let's go ahead and well, it does make my heals have more range. Can I reach them all the way over here? Wow, yeah, I sure can. What about over here? Let me see. Wow, look at that. Yeah, that range is pretty hefty there. Let me just exaggerate a little bit more. What about all the way over here? I kind of doubt it. Yeah, that's too far right there. Yeah, but as you can see, yeah, within this range, I can hit him. That's amazing. Not that guy. He's just too far. But that's pretty cool. So it not only does it increase the range of your attacks, but it increases the range of your heals as well. And who wouldn't want that? That's pretty awesome. And kind of unique, having a buff that increases range of yourself and your team. I can't even think of anything else where you can actually buff somebody else to give them more range. Maybe there is something, I'm not thinking about it. If there is, you can go ahead and tell me, leave it in the comments or something, because right now I can't think about it. I'm sure somebody can think of something out there. But let's go back to the power of the depths here. So with this, since I have the, what is my recharge? Alright, so I have the recharge almost pretty much maxed out for recharge reduction. So I have to wait basically 2 minutes. Alright, the buffs stay on for 1 minute. But if I combine hasten with that, that should lower it down. So I don't have to wait too long, go too long without it. What I'm going to do is go ahead and test that out and see how long I have to wait without it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on and use this. And right there, well, look at that. I only have to wait a minute and a few seconds. So basically, it's almost permanent. Of course, my character is level 50, and I have my recharge bonus pretty decently because of, you know, the IOs and things like that. As you can see here, this is my setup that I'm currently using. I have things that give me defense, more accuracy. I really wanted to focus on accuracy because I hate missing, and I'm going to want to help my team to hit other enemies as well. So I have, I don't have the, what do you call it, the accuracy, what do you call it, tactics. I figured I didn't really need it because I have this right here, which makes it so that basically the team is not going to be missing. Yeah, I just got finished drinking a big old cup of hot cocoa. Man, do I feel like taking a nap. Yeah, the old man is starting to show.
12 o'clock midnight.
Alright, so something else I wanted to mention. I actually forgot that I had my incarnates turned on. So I went on and, let me see. Yeah, I actually had my alpha turned on. And the alpha that I chose gave me an extra bit of defense. So, excuse me, if you look at the barrier reef, it doesn't give you 8.4. It gives you 7 unless you put something inside of the barrier reef, if you put some defense in there. But by default, it gives you 7, which is still good. But I don't think it's worth putting more defense in there because it basically only gives you about a 1.5% difference. So what I do have is maneuvers, which gives me 4% defense on top of the 7, which is 11% combined. good with the 3% here, 3% here, which is about 17. So that's getting you really close to the healthy 20 that you would want to have. And all I have to do is turn on hover, and that gives me rounded up, say 3% right there, and there's your 20. Of course, if you have like more complete sets of IOs that give you more ranged defense, and right here you get more ranged defense, and by having 6 of these, that's more ranged defense. Um, I wanted to focus on range defense more than the melee defense. So let me check here. What do I have for melee? Yeah, see, the melee defense, I only have about 10%. But with this type of character, I don't really do melee type of attacks. I can really avoid melee attacks completely by just hovering in the air. All I have to do is go up here, and now everybody's melee attack will not get me. They're all stuck on the ground unless there's some flying enemies, which is, you don't really come across that too often. But yeah, I can still do all my heals, I can do all my buffs, I can do all my attacks, and I only mainly have to worry about ranged and ranged AoE. So by having a healthy almost 30% ranged, yeah, I don't really have too much to worry about. Even though I will be getting hit some, but I will be avoiding a lot more than half of the ranged attacks directed at my character. Alrighty, so with that, I guess I will turn in for the night. This video turned out to be a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be, but if you made it this far, I really appreciate your time. Yeah, you do not have to leave me a like unless you want to. If you do leave me a like, I will take it as if you enjoyed the content, or you got some entertainment or learned something from it. So yeah, appreciate your time, and guess I will think of another video to make as I take my nap. What should I make a video of next? Either way, I will see you guys around. Have fun, and I'll catch you later. Peace. Those IOs. And so when it comes down to corruptors, if they're rocking their corruptor IOs, if you hug them, you'll be getting additional endurance. So with the defender class, I don't see that being a necessary thing, because the pterodactyl bubble, I'll just say, that thing gives you the most endurance out of all the classes because you're a defender, and you won't have endurance issues if you have a defender rocking the set of Marine Affinity. The Corruptor is, I believe, second place for the most effective Marine Affinity. And so the endurance that the Corruptor gives you is not going to be as good, but if you're rocking those IOs for the Corruptor, then the Corruptor will be giving you an additional endurance boost with every proc. So, yeah, remember to hug your defenders and your corruptors. Yeah, I'm all about those hugs.